Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to do a quick video because we didn't really get around to talking about all of the Act 4 changes and what this means, and I saw on yesterday's video when we were fighting kind of the hard mode Act 4 Venom, a lot of people were very confused about some of the changes that have come to Act 4 with the most recent updates. So I wanted to recap some of the biggest stuff that has changed with the difficulty of Act 4, and you know, if you hadn't fully explored Act 4 before the patch, they've removed a lot of the really BS stuff, a lot of the stuff that was very annoying, particularly some of the stuff that they have addressed is the Thorns map. They've addressed the really stacked Juggernaut, and they've also addressed Venom. Venom wasn't really too much of an issue provided that you had a Ronin, but Venom is a much better fight now. And one of the my favorite parts about kind of the final Venom in 4.3.6 is now that, you know, you can go to him directly and he's an amazing champion to practice on against like really aggressive opponents, because before the patch he had the all or nothing node, he had the poison node, and he was just you had to use either a Scarlet Witch or Ronin, but now he's just such a fun champion to fight and practice on, especially with 3-star champions. So we did a video yesterday where we used a 3-star hood to defeat him, but a lot of other 3-star champions can now defeat Venom pretty much if you have the skill. Most champions can do it now, so it's a very cool fight, but a lot of Mystic champions do especially shine on that fight. Anyway, let's recap all of the changes, all of the patch notes. Again, a link to these will be in the description of this video. If you'd kind of like all the information there to read for yourself, it will be in the description. So first up, we have Act 4, Chapter 2, Quest 3. So they removed the global poison, the slow stacking over time one effect from the second global node. Throughout kind of these patch notes, there are a lot of kind of removing poison and bleeds and replacing them with something else, which I guess, wasn't entirely needed. It's very helpful for some of the upcoming players who may not have like a really good poison or bleed immune champion, but a lot of interesting changes have been made there to kind of make it more about using the champions that you play really well with and champions that you have skill, instead of, you know, particularly using a bleed or poison immune champion to defeat certain fights. So Act 4, Chapter 2, Quest 3, they also removed the global plus 25% health and attack effect from the Spider-Man node. So in Act 4, Chapter 2, Quest 4, which is the one where you have the really stacked Moon Knight, it's kind of like a spiral around there if you've done it before. So they toned down the armor effect from Cyclops to Punisher from 90% to 45%. They also removed the 90% armor node from Iron Patriot to Moon Knight. So this was the really difficult one, which made Moon Knight take pretty much no damage. They've toned that down from 90% to 45%, a pretty solid change there. And they also removed the solid poison and replaced that with a slow stacking over time poison, which is a little bit detrimental, but I guess if you're taking one of the most difficult parts of Drax up, you probably still ideally want to have a poison immune champion to defeat Moon Knight, although, you know, he's gonna take considerably more damage now that his really big armor up debuff has been removed. So that's a pretty decent change there. And then we have Act 4, Chapter 2, Quest 5. So they removed the linked bleed 60 seconds effect from Iron Man to Captain America and replaced it with a plus 100% health effect. And they also removed the poison from Vision to Captain America and added a linked 100% attack debuff. Then we have Act 4, Chapter 2, Quest 6. So they basically removed the bleed and poison from Rocket and Hawkeye to Rhino, but instead added Unblockable Special 1 and Unblockable Special 2, which when you're fighting Rhino are very easy to counter, providing that you can evade back at the right time. Yeah, those are really easy nodes to deal with, especially on Rhino. So is this the one I like? Yeah, this is the one I like. So this is the Luke Cage chapter, which was such an annoying chapter before. I had to do this chapter when I didn't have a stacked Black Widow or I didn't have Crossbones, and it was the biggest pain in the ass because this was the one that had Global Thorns. So they removed that and replaced it with an Enhanced Special 1, so Unblockable Special 1. Really good change here. This is by far one one of the most BS chapters if you did not have the very specific champions needed to counter it. So I'm glad to see that change has been made. That's a pretty decent one for the most part, and for a lot of players kind of going through chapter 3 for the first time. I think that was actually the bottom path you could counter fawns before, but now even on the really stacked paths you don't have to worry about fawns being a huge issue. So very happy about that one. And the next one, again, an excellent change there. So they removed slash tires from, this is basically the Juggernaut chapter, which for most people was by far the most difficult chapter of Act 4. So they have removed slash tires, and slash tires was the node where you swipe back and you took like a load of damage based on the amount of health the amount of attack you had. So it was the attack of the opponent, sorry, yeah, it was 15% of the opponent's attack, which was a lot, especially when you got to the Juggernaut, which made that fight like so much rubbish. Unless you had a Ronin. Ronin was a way to kind of work your way around that. And they've also removed the poison slow stacking effect from Juggernaut, which is really good as well. So now it means that Juggernaut he's still like quite difficult. He's still really tanky. If you take all the treasure chest paths, he's gonna have like 135,000 health. He's gonna have 9,000 attack. He's still gonna hit really hard, but you don't need to worry about slash tires, and you don't need to worry about the poison. So one of the really good champions now for this chapter is Hulk. Hulk is just so incredible. So even if you have a 3-star Hulk, if you want to do it maybe over 2 or 3 runs, then it's definitely going to be possible. 2 runs with the Juggernaut is probably going to be doable with the 3-star Hulk. I tried it with my 4-star 550 Hulk, and I almost got Juggernaut down in 1 try, but I had some really bad RNG where I used a special attack, and it didn't proc the stun, and then he had Unstoppable, because in that chapter you also gain random buffs as well, and then we got wrecked, because he had just over 9,000 attacks. So yeah, that's a lot more than a lot of the Realm of Legends and Labyrinth of Legends bosses had. So Juggernaut is still very much a potential issue. However, you know, there is a good way to counter him with Hulk now. So yeah, Juggernaut is a lot less BS than he used to be. So very happy to see some changes made there. And with Venom in Act 4 Chapter 3 Quest 6, they removed the global all or nothing node so that you can now bait his special attacks. I find baiting the special one by far the easiest. If you want to kind of tips on how to fight Venom, check out yesterday's video where we used the 3-star hood against him, and they also removed the poison slow stacking over time effect from Venom, so he can be done with a lot more champions like Magic, Mordo. A lot of the Mystics are now a really great option for kind of directly fighting Venom, and also for like most of the paths, like they're a really decent option. So a lot of Mystic characters that you can use and will be effective even at a 3-star version. And then in Act 4 Chapter 4 Quest 1, they basically just toned down the health increase from 50% to 25%, and in Act 4 Chapter 4 Quest 6 they removed multiple caltrops and outlast nodes, so a little bit of a tone down there. Overall, I think kind of the 3 main changes, like there's a lot of stuff, you know, that was really nice to have, and tone down the content a little bit to be about the right difficulty for players going through. But I'm most excited about the Venom change, the Fawns change, and also the Juggernaut change. So ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think of the changes in the comments below. Do you like these new Act 4 changes? Were they a little bit too excessive? And also let me know, is there any chapters you're still struggling with in Act 4? Are there any video guides you would like to be made? Yeah, I'm very interested to kind of get your opinion on what you need to help you get through Act 4. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this video. Hope you're enjoying the Act 4 changes. Again, Venom is a really good training dummy to fight now. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like. That would be greatly appreciated. Apart from that, take care and have an absolutely fantastic day. I wanted to add on my failed attempt yesterday at getting the Juggernaut with all the chests down, because, you know, it took a while to record, so I thought I might as well show you my goof. So, as you might have been able to see, he has just over 130,000 health and over 9,000 attacks. So much attack, so much damage, and still hits like an absolute truck. So, as you can see on the blocked hits, we're just taking a ridiculous amount of damage. But if you're going through this chapter for the first time, you should never really be trying to do Juggernaut with all chests active. You need to do it like a couple of times anyway, so you might as well spread the difficulty out over 2 runs. So, we got the stun, we got quite lucky, we're off to a fairly decent start there, trying to chain on another level 2, so we fire off the level 2, and we get Unstoppable on him, so we try to do another level 1 to stun him again. However, we got a little bit wrecked there because he managed to block our attack. It That's me not being super prepared there. So he managed to break out the stun lock, goes on a little bit of a rampage here, gets off like 2 unstoppables. We're trying to play fairly safe here and going for another level 2. Unfortunately, we didn't get the crit on that one. That would have been an insane amount of damage if we did manage to land the crit. Didn't get the parry off here. Again, this was not my finest hour, ladies and gentlemen. But we go in with that final round of combo, level 2. Unfortunately, again, did not proc the stun there just when we needed it in the final hour. Just kind of baiting backward, trying to get in that last parry. He hits into us, and I try to get off the parry, but I missed the timing. I'm not too sure if that was the game or me, but you know, I'm probably going to blame it on myself there. I think I messed up a little bit, but we got so close to getting him down in a single try with all the chests active. But again, we didn't get super lucky. We didn't play the game super well, but we managed to have the 5-star Storm at rank 2 left to finish him off there. So we're just attacking in, building up to level 1 there, and Assassins kicks in. We get a really nice level 1. He goes down. Easy game, easy life. But for a bit of a fun challenge, like if you want to take Juggernaut out with all of the chests now, I really do suggest it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Have fun playing about in Act 4 after these changes. Take care and have an absolutely fantastic day.